Hey guys, this is Dan with Synaptic doing a quick demonstration of Youreka for the consumer goods and retail use cases that involve in-store activities. This could be audits, surveys, inspections, checklists, display checks, anything where a field sales or service rep is out there inside of a store and needs to collect information, audit information, update existing information that we already know about an account. So I'll walk through a couple portions of the demo here today where we review the account and then we use Salesforce One to go out and conduct a store audit and a display check, and we'll see how Youreka helps walk folks through guided sales and guided service activities while in store. Is how easy it is to make a change to a Youreka form or a template and show you what our mobile app looks like as well, that allows you to facilitate any of these in-store functions entirely offline. And then at the very end, I'll walk through a couple of quick reporting examples and show you something inside of Wave as well. So that's what I wanted to walk through here, and I'll orient you to my screen really quick. We've got the browser up here, so this is an account inside of Lightning Experience. And then the other window that I'll be using here today is my iPad. So same account in my iPad and also on the web browser here, unfolds on the iPad. So at this point, this would be the example of I am a merchandiser or a wholesaler or some sort of field sales or service representative responsible for servicing this particular account. And I'll use one of these actions down here at the bottom, like the store audit, to complete my first portion of my visit. So I click on store audit and it's going to open up one of the Youreka forms that we have configured specifically for this store audit use case. Now the way we have this designed is the first portion is going to go through and update information about the account. So if I change this account phone number to be all 8s at the end, we'll see that right back to the account towards the end here. And then we've got an account plan summary, maybe my notes on external appearance of the store, looking good outside. And first impression on entrance, we'll say clean and tidy. Great. So from here, I can move on to the next portion of my store audit, which is just going to be a quick review of who the store manager is. And we've got Cal Ripken here. We're confirming his information, and this actually writes back to this specific account. So I'll get into the product audit portion of the demo here. So I can see I have a couple of products that I know about already, and I'm going to go through and update things like known quantities, the placement of the product. We can see we've got our French roast, blend, and then we can come down here and we can add another product as well if we uncovered something that we weren't familiar with, like maybe our winter warmer is there as well. And we'll say that's actually at waist level and it's priced at $9.99. And product looks good on shelf. And for quantity, we'll put that we've got 40 in there, and we'll say coffee, and that is aisle 8. Cool. So now I can finish my product audit at this point. And now this is where we get into Youreka helping from a little bit of a guided sales and service perspective. So if I say were any of our products damaged, no, it lets me move on. In the event I say yes, it's going to ask me a dependent question saying, hey, can you tell us what caused this damage? So we could say leak in roof has been repaired. Were all of our products displayed at the eye level? If I say yes, it lets me move on. In the event that I say no, it's going to stop me here and say, hang on, all of our products are supposed to be displayed at eye level. Please remedy these issues. Don't take it back and have that conversation with your manager and then fix it the next time that you're there. This is where Youreka is getting into a little bit of guided service and saying, stop and fix this now so we can benefit from this over the coming weeks. So moving on to the last portion here, we can actually audit competitive information. So we've noted that there's a Folgers freestanding display. It's at the end of the aisle. Maxwell House is also there. And then maybe we've got Starbucks listed here. So a lot of competitive displays in place. And this works just like the products. If we click add, we're able to go through and add another one in here. And in the event, we actually wanted to capture a picture of one of those competitive displays. We just click the camera, say take a photo, we'd snap a picture of that competitive display and use that, and it'll actually save that back to our Salesforce environment, which we can see in the web browser here in just a moment. Before I do that, I want to walk you through the last portion of my responsibilities here in auditing the store and show you what a display check looks like. So I'll use that action down at the bottom, and it's going to jump me into another form that we've designed for the purposes of doing a display check. So again, it's just reviewing some quick account information with me. And we noted already that we have an end cap display in place. We've got a stacked basket display in place, and maybe that is now in poor shape and needs replacement. And we can also note any other displays, same concept. We're clicking add down. We pop in another end cap display that we're aware of. We can put in our installation date for that was on the 1st. And we've got projected revenue of 6,000. And it's in great shape because it's new and at the end of coffee aisle. All right, so at this point when we're done with auditing all of our displays and adding any of our new ones, Youreka is going to help us out a little bit with some guided sales. So if we ask, are there any opportunities to add a display to an in-store cafe? So again, we're a coffee roaster in this scenario, so the in-store cafe is some prime real estate for us. If I say no, it lets me move on, but in the event that I say yes, it's going to ask me which of these displays would work best. Well, maybe we'll talk about the floor basket display. And when we do that, it's actually going to bring up a picture of that display and some selling points around these displays. How big they are, how much they generally hold, how often they produce. And then we can go down and start to capture store manager feedback and display feedback. Looks interesting. And now we can start to capture some information about, has the store manager expressed concerns with sales of any of the following products? And in the event that they tell us, hey, we're worried about whole bean sales, Youreka is coming to the rescue and saying, hey, why don't we cross-sell them our conical burr grinders and pour-over filters, which there's a long story around the fact that those things help produce whole bean coffee sales. In the event that I've got the store manager excited about the new display and these new products, Youreka is actually going to let me go through and capture that individual's signature while I'm in the store so that we can begin to process this order moving forward. So I'm done with my in-store activities. I've clicked finish, and I can review all of this information. You can see we changed that account phone number on the first form. It's now updated. But let's hop back over to the web browser and give this a quick refresh and see what we're working with here. So what we'll do is we'll check our account information, and we'll also see how Youreka helped build out the related lists around this account. So if we check on details here really quick, we can see our phone numbers looking good back in the web. And when we click on our related lists, we can see that we just completed a display check and store audit today. We've got Cal Ripken's contact information. That winter warmer that we entered is now stored under our products present. We've got our retailer promotions listed out. The second end cap display that we put in there, and Starbucks is now built out inside of our competitor products. So one thing that I'll point out here is Youreka makes no assumptions around the data model that you have inside of your environment, right? So they could be, or customers could be using any object, standard, custom, and Youreka is able to plug into that org and adapt itself to work with any objects that exist. The gist of this is it's able to update one specific record like the account and the contact, and it can also complement related lists as well, which is where we built out these products and the displays and the competitive products. So let's say we wanted to make a quick change to that display check, and we also want to take it offline. Youreka allows you to do quick configuration of any of these templates. So if I come down here and grab this display check template, and I will click edit on this, and it's going to let me make a new copy of this template. So I'll say yes, let's copy it for a new version. And then this is where we'll get into the drag and drop editor of how we make changes to a Youreka template. So if I scroll down, we see we've got this first section where we had store details, and then we had those related lists coming up in the display audit, and then we have this section with the display summary at the end here. So let's say we wanted to ask a couple more questions up front. So, all right. Are any of our displays visible upon entrance of the location? And we'll make this a simple question where we just say yes or no. From here, we can save this question. And now let's say we want to ask a subsequent question. Where we say, if we say no, are there any opportunities to set up a display in the entrance? And we'll say yes or no to this one as well. And we're going to make this one dependent, where when we say we only want to ask this question if when we said are any of our displays visible upon entrance of the location, when someone says no. And we'd probably ask a follow-up question too, like what type of display would work best? And we'll just leave this one as a text question, and we'll also make this one conditional on them saying no, there's nothing here. Cool. So I can use preview really quick and make sure that the changes I've made look good. Are any of our displays visible upon entrance? If I say yes, I keep moving on. In the event I say no, there's two subsequent questions here for me. So this looks good. I'm going to save this and close this template, and now let's see it in action here. So we'll say publish this template, and we're going to fill in a form, and we'll keep this with the Fresh Market Baltimore account, the same one we were working with before. So we'll save this new form, and then I'm going to switch back over to my tablet, and we'll sync this. And the way our mobile app works is it actually lets you collect all of the forms that you're going to be using over the course of the day, and you can take them offline and fill them in whenever is appropriate. But the cool part is you don't have to worry about filling or going offline whenever you're filling in any of this information. So this second one, form 154, is the one that we just created. So I'll click that, and we'll spice things up a little bit here by taking our tablet offline. And you can see I've got all of my information. I've got those displays that are already present, summaries that are here, and then here's our new questions, right? So if I say yes, all is good. If I say no, there's two more questions for me. And we could say stacked basket would be good. Cool. So this is Youreka capturing this new information offline. And in the event, I wanted to take a quick photo of the display where I thought the display might make sense. And I can give this photo a name, or I can just use the date. And let's say I want to mark this photo up. And I'm going to use red, and I'm going to say, cool, we'll do the stacked basket display here. And I can save this stuff. All right, so I'm now done with this. I can save this form, and Youreka is going to tell me that this data has been stored locally. What that means is I'm offline, and this information is only on my tablet right now. But it's paying attention to my connectivity, so in the event that I come back online, it's going to notice that event as well, and it's going to give me two options: clear out my tablet, or I can save my information and sync. So I'll click that, and we'll go from red to green here, and we'll know that all of our information has been saved and synced back to Salesforce. And let's confirm inside of the browser. So now if I refresh that form that we just created, the right one, and here's our form inside of Salesforce. So we've got this photo that we took. It's available. I've got my annotation on there depicting where the display would work. And I've got my new questions that have been answered, and all of this is saved back inside of my Salesforce environment. So the last thing that I'll show you guys is that all of this information in Youreka is entirely native to Salesforce. So what that means is workflows, reports, dashboards, Wave, all of that stuff can work with Youreka. So here's a quick representation of a dashboard of the whole bean coffee sales and the details that we're tracking about these locations and their demographic profiles. And how we've helped improve sales using Youreka to manage merchandising and retail execution inside of these locations. So that about wraps up the demo that I wanted to walk through here. And in the event that you've got questions about Youreka, you can find our website at Youreka.io. You can also reach us via phone or email. And if you go to our website, there's a chat function on there. So lots of different ways to get in touch with us. Look forward to hearing from you, and thanks very much for your time.